There's a specific type of pain that doesn't show up on X-rays. It doesn't bleed, doesn't bruise, and most people can't even see it. But neuroscientists can. They've discovered that children who grow up without love develop brains that look physically different under brain scans. The neural pathways literally wire themselves around an absence. And here's what nobody tells you, those pathways don't just disappear when you turn 18. They follow you into every relationship, every job interview, every moment you stand in front of a mirror. The question isn't whether childhood shapes us. It's how deeply the lack of something we never received continues to echo. Let me show you what I mean. Harvard researchers tracked over 700 people across 80 years, one of the longest studies on human development ever conducted. What they found was startling. Adults who reported low parental warmth during childhood had significantly higher rates of chronic illness by middle age, even when controlling for diet, exercise, and genetics. Their bodies were storing the memory of emotional neglect at a cellular level. But it goes deeper than physical health. Dr. Alan Shore, a leading expert in neuropsychology, explains that the first 2 years of life are when our brain's right hemisphere, the emotional control center, develops most rapidly. And it develops through one thing, attuned connection with a caregiver. When that connection is missing or inconsistent, the brain adapts by essentially building walls. You learn to expect disappointment before it arrives. To leave before being left. To never need what you won't receive. Here's where it gets complex. Many people who lacked childhood love become incredibly successful. They achieve, they excel, they prove their worth through accomplishment. On paper, they look like they've overcome everything. But psychologists call this high-functioning survival mode. The drive isn't coming from passion or purpose, it's coming from a wound that whispers you're only valuable when you're producing. The British psychoanalyst John Bowlby spent decades studying attachment theory, and his research revealed something crucial: we don't just learn how to love from our parents. We learn if we're lovable. That's the real inheritance. Not the house or the money or the genes. It's the internal answer to, "Am I enough?" that gets written before we even have words for the question. And perhaps the cruelest part. Many people don't realize they're still running from that childhood void. They choose partners who are emotionally unavailable because distance feels like home. They self-sabotage success because deep success would contradict their core belief about deserving good things. They become hypervigilant people pleasers, reading every room, managing every emotion, except their own. But here's what the research also shows: the brain remains plastic throughout life. Neural pathways can be rebuilt. Dr. Bessel van der Kolk's work on trauma demonstrates that with proper therapeutic intervention, supportive relationships, and conscious practice, adults can literally rewire their emotional responses. The absence of childhood love creates a wound, but not a life sentence. The first step isn't fixing yourself. It's recognizing that what feels like personal failure is actually an adaptation to impossible circumstances. You survived something that should have been given freely. And survival, even imperfect survival, is its own form of strength. The past shaped the architecture. But you get to choose what you build inside it.